Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. The Timmix here, and it is time to start the final Pro Level Challenge, the 9th out of 12 challenges overall. From the Ashes, 10 races in duration, and it is down to medium difficulty again, officially. Things were looking great for Windsor Racing this year. A good car, excellent support staff, and some of the best drivers in the series. That was until, after just 6 races into the season, their design center burnt down now. Unable to build any new car parts for the season, Windsor need to try and win the championship. So, fire in the design center, we can't design any parts, still got to win the team's title. We get an investor for Create Team if we succeed, the Jander Mole investor. We can't leave the team, we can't build new car parts, and it's 10 races, so a little bit faster than the previous seasons, but this one it is 6 races in, 10 to go, so basically a third of the season is behind us, and it sort of dumps us into a challenging but fairly simple situation. And the of course the challenging part is obviously not being able to design new parts, but it also makes things a lot simpler because we're going into this, and all we've got really to do is to work on the parts that we have. You see our finances are looking great, $7+ million to the good, and it really doesn't matter what the finances are that much because, again, we can't really do anything, with that money. That's gonna matter in time. I'm going to take a look at the calendar and the HQ, and maybe we can do something there. But I don't see us doing anything that's going to matter for this season. So it's really just make the best of what we have. Now, we've got Lippinen in 1st, Oliveira in 6th. And we are actually leading over Scuderia Rossini. You can see by the gap, after 6 races, it's already pretty clear. It's going to be us versus Scuderia. That's going to be the deal here. So, as for me, I am Agatha Wells, 43-year-old woman with a financial backstory. It's our first female team principal, if I'm not mistaken, so that's kind of interesting. Nice to have some variety there. And we're showing all the other ones. We start with our usual 8 in the 3 key stats. Nothing too special there. And Hank Lippman from the WSN World Sports Network is wondering, is Windsor's championship up in smoke? Disaster struck Windsor Racing yesterday after a freak accident set their design center ablaze. All staff were evacuated safely. Unfortunately, the lack of a design center means Windsor won't be able to produce any new parts for the rest of the season. Chairman Francis Marshall isn't worried, however, stating, "I have the utmost confidence in my principal and our fantastic team. Yesterday was a shocking setback, but we will persevere." Windsor have had a surprisingly good start to the season, leading the championship standings by over 10 points. However, a stagnant car means they need to get most of their points early before the rest of the pack inevitably surpasses them. That's going to be complicated. Here's our car. Our car is only 3rd. We have an engine in 3rd. We have acceleration gearbox just 5th. We do have the best brakes. Our low-speed corners front wing sucks. And you see Jander Mole being one of our sponsors here. You've got a bunch of, this is a pretty bland design. I gotta be honest. Not a big fan of this livery. But then the suspension is 4th. And the rear wing is 1st. So we've got a mix. The only one that's a real problem is the front wing. But again, we can't do anything about it. So, and if we go to design new part, yeah, it won't let you. It won't even let you get into the screen. Okay, so we'll take a look at our parts in a bit. First of all, if we go to the calendar, a couple things I want to see here. We're now at the 30th of June. Or it's not the 30th, but it's going to be. We only have less than a week for our first race. And then it's going to be, so, yeah, I mean, we're looking at just over 6 months. If we take a look at the HQ and what can we build, Yeah, that's going to help us within 6 months. You know, and let's say we built, you know, I mean, 16 weeks. None of this stuff we would have, you know, for very long. I mean, it doesn't, the sponsor stuff wouldn't matter. Telemetry center. I mean, if we built the simulator, they'd improve adaptability and consistency, and then they'd still have that for, like, the last couple months. We can't do this upgrade. We can't upgrade the factory. And these are too expensive. You know, so I mean, we might improve our adaptability and consistency, but one of the big things about a lot of these buildings, they unlock better parts. Well, that doesn't matter. Or it's long-term stuff like the scouting facility, or it's financial like the helipad. I'm just not going to bother. I don't see the need for it. So if we take a look, yeah, let's take a look at our people here. Aki Lippinen, like the helmets here, 26 years old, good driver. You see 15 or better at everything. Struggles under pressure. So, yeah, we'll want to keep this. It's important to look at these, especially in this situation. Sponsor bonus is 3rd or above. So if it's, we'll want to keep the sponsor bonus to be 4th or below, because money doesn't really matter. Focus is +2. Cat bitten by a radioactive spider. -30 marketability and +30 morale. Happy to be here. So that's all good. So we want 4th or worse for the sponsors. Then Anna Oliveira is not as good. Focus is not that great. You know, so I mean, she's solid, but she, you know, at 3.5 stars isn't bad at all. But she's not, you know, not at the best level. Lippinen's clearly the better ones. Feels threatened when the mechanic is better. And right now that's true. So Sparrow, her mechanic is too good. But their relationship's so good I don't think I want to change it. Loves Rio de Janeiro, does great there. Is 35, so it's got the age problem, and dedicated. Gives +10 to the mechanic relationship. So we've got the engine expert, which is one of my favorite abilities, so that's nice. And then our reserve driver, he actually isn't bad, but hopefully we won't have to use him. You can see we've got a 4-star designer, a 4-star, 2 4-star mechanics. And this one is not going anywhere. Okay, so the risk taker might potentially be there. Refueling is faster, and then park condition fixed time are 2 times faster. Probably not going to use those. I usually don't. Let's just switch over to the finances. And again, we always want to go to the low one just because, why not? I mean, we're not going to be around for next year. Let's skip the sponsor for now. Let's take a look at our rules. Long practice sessions, 20 minutes. We've got pretty good feedback ratings with the 2 drivers we've got, so we should be able to max out most of our stuff. Long qualifying sessions. Longer races. Let's see, simultaneous pit, merit, top 10 get points. And the tire stuff just isn't that important, although we can use whatever compounds we want, okay? And 3 tire compounds available, so that's going to be more choices for us. The sort of the flip side of what happened, you know, last time it was pretty limited. 15 tires per race weekend, which we're going to be able to basically do what we want with the tires. Both types of safety cars. We don't do any refueling during the race. And that's pretty typical of the single-seater open-wheel racing, but obviously going to be much different than... we used that in the single-race challenge that we just did, bottom to the top, but it was much different you know, in the previous ones where we had the GT, we're making stops. Qualifying base grid, standing start, and we do have weight stripping. So we can't refuel, but we do have weight stripping. So the stops are just going to be, let's switch tires and get back out there for the most part. Okay, let's take a look at our parts. And here's where we've got to sort of figure things out. So the gearbox, the brakes, and the front wing, the most important parts for the next race. Let's just clear everything out and take a look. So we've got, there were some parts that were made, but they weren't actually, like, this one was supposed to be an improvement, and it's actually worse than the originals. Okay, so whatever. The rear wings are what they are. And the really weird one here is this engine that's got like a high red zone, but it's actually so much better that it's worth it. If we just sort of max it out. Now, we wouldn't want that on a track where the engine is a crucial item because it is just going to get into the red zone no matter what we do with it. But I think we want it on the other ones. So I think we're probably going to want to, you know, have like 3 engines boosted up all the way. So, okay, so yeah, acceleration, deceleration, low speed. We've got the full factory, 8 parts, so that's nice. But right now, I mean, none of our parts are really close to being maxed out on reliability, and we're going to need to do that so we can do the most weight stripping, and then we're going to want to work on the performance. So our factory is going to be busy. Let's see, 12, blah, blah, blah. Reliability 12 and 20 performance. Reliability 16, 17 performance. Okay, that's where we're going to want them then. Sparrow and reliability, and Harrison on the performance side. So I think for now, we'll get to that one later, but for now let's use, I think we're going to want to use this engine at 70 and then that one, which is a big performance difference, but we're going to need to do it. Let's see, we've got a 70 and an 80. And then what was it, the front wing? Yeah. 75 and 80. The engines seem to be really behind. Especially that one. So I'm going to want to work on that reliability. And get that boosted up. And I'm probably going to want to, only got 6 days. Okay. I want to get the, see if I can get the crucial parts up to like 80 maybe. So that would be all of those. And then the not crucial parts up to 70 would be nice. So then throw on the suspension. And yeah. I mean, I think that's roughly the right priority that I want to follow here. And performance-wise, I mean, let's just throw on, we're not going to give any help there, but let's just, since we're gonna, oh, that one's already maxed out. And we're gonna want to eventually boost this, but it's not going to be useful yet. So we'll throw on the 2 gearboxes. Because, I mean, at 40%, we can't make that useful by the time this race rolls around. How far, I wonder, is the next one? Okay, 2 weeks, and then we have more time. So we're going to gradually, and the parts are in such need of help that we're going to have to just gradually work these things up. We're going to work on the crucial parts for each race in the performance, and no. Definitely throwing it all into reliability for now. That's going to be absolutely vital. Okay. So let's move forward with that. And Lippinen wants a test track. That's nice. No, we can't design anything, remember? Wexler has been tipped as a driver to beat. Dieter Wexler, who is, I'm sure, of Scuderia Rossini. And Saarinen says, not over till it's over. I've got what it takes to beat Lippinen. Panthers' Nikolai Surikov, hoping to make a few waves. And Lucy Gilbert says, Anna could present herself better when it comes to interacting with the press. Communications expert has a slot available. How to talk right. Media training course. Should we sign Anna up for it? Add personality, media trained. Costs $1 million. I really don't care, but why not? I mean, it's just not going to matter. Okay, we saved a little bit because we have the financial background deal. Let's take another look at where we're at. Here, and we're up to 70%. Yeah, and again, the engine, not an essential one. We still want to get this brakes up to 80, and that's going to get there. That's going to get there. And the gearbox probably going to get there. The suspension, not as critical. Okay, let's work on the crucial parts a bit more. Let me throw in this one. And this one. And yeah, the brakes, I'm not going to be able to get it any better than that. Okay, yeah, let's do that, I think. And it's time for Cape Town. Let's look at our sponsors. We already have Jandermol, who's 8th or above. And this spot is 11th, 12th, 16th or above. Goodness, this is a low-ranking one. So, you know what? Let's just take the money. Why not? And then first, second, or second. Okay, and we're not going to use this one. So we definitely want to take the cash up front. Slightly better deal for Northern Harbor here. Okay, so it's going to heavy rain, and followed by heavy rain in Cape Town. 64 laps. My goodness. That's a lot. And obviously we're going to want to take Jandermol because, again, Northern Harbor would mess with Lippinen's confidence. So if it's going to be heavy rain, then, yeah, I think Ultra Softs, Super Softs, or Softs. We're probably looking at Super Softs being best. We'll, of course, want some Ultras for qualifying. Softs, probably not so much. It's only one qualifying session. So let's go with 4. And a couple Softs, just in case. Let's call it 8 and 3. Nah, 9 and 2 do it. I just don't see us using the Softs. So I'm off. If I'm off on the temperature, then I'll pay for that. But, you know, at 15 degrees, should be able to use the Supers. And Lippinen is delighted. Only content. And they're equal status drivers. I should try to make them equal. Let's check out where we're at on that. And the engine is just such a big difference that I think I should give Oliveira the best of everything else. Yep, they both think their parts are better. So we're predicting Lipponen to finish 7th and Oliveira to finish 8th. Well, that's not too exciting. And look at overall our car. Still 3rd, 5th, 1st, 6th. I don't think this has changed. 5th on the suspension, although we're near the top. So a lot of the top teams have good suspensions. Yeah. So that appears to be all the same. We are 5th, 1st, and 6th. So we've got problems on a couple of the key parts, especially the front wing. But at least this will keep our drivers happy, and it is more equitable. I don't know that we'll be able to do any weight stripping here, but let's take a look at the numbers. I don't think we can. Definitely not on those. Yeah, I don't think we have the reliability to spare to reduce any of these parts. So I think we're doing no weight stripping on this one and just seeing what we can do. So we're very close if we didn't hit it. Oliveira 5th, but Lipponen only 11th in the practice and both over a second behind. That's not exciting, especially on a lap of or track of just over 1 minute. And Marco Trentini says okay-ish. We'll find out the real pace on Sunday. That's very true. Looking at partly sunny / partly cloudy here. Stick where we are with the weight stripping. For the qualifying, okay, it's only gonna, boy, be faster on drier tires. So I think we want to wait, like put on the inters or whatever and just test things out, and then go out, say about 5 minutes left, go out for a real qualifying run on ultras. Took a moment to save it real quick in case I do anything particularly dumb in the race and may want to redo it, but again, most time I won't do that. I'll just stick with whatever happens. So let's see what we have. XBC Sport impressed with our qualifying. Flawless driving from Anna Oliveira. Way to drive on a dry track. Everybody's driving on a wet one. Looks we got decent weather to start. And yeah, okay, it's going to, again, it looks like Inter's the right choice, at least early on. And we're going to want to be on dry tires until, let's see, do a little bit of math here. Lap 22-23. Well, let's take a look at our, yeah, those aren't going to last quite that long. Super Softs might. So I think we actually want to go out on supers. Even though they're going to be slower, other cars are going to pass us. We don't have to pit twice before the weather hits. That's the deal here. Bit of a risky choice, but I'm going to do it. And the other thing that is going to happen here is I usually like to take off about 2 laps of fuel when you can't refuel, and then be fairly cautious, and I'm definitely going to be cautious in this race. So we look at that. We're going to spend at least a fair amount of it on the wets, on the inners. So let's go with the inters and the race trim. Let's let Oliveira push it a little more. So do the race trim and the engine expert, because it doesn't impact condition. And do I want to let her carry more fuel for that reason? I think I do. I'll only knock off 1 lap from her. Give her an extra lap of fuel to deal with. So yeah, start on the super softs. And with 64 laps, you know, that's really not that much of a fuel thing. But, you know, I'm going to be careful here. See how it goes. Adjust as we move forward in the season. And, of course, we're going to max out to start, because being in the front row, behind us on are with 8s. We've got a 4 for Oliveira, 6 for Lipinen. With 8s behind us are De Graaf and Flores. And then Woodford and Blanc. But Wexler for Scuderia Rossini back in 8th in row 4. And Saarinen not being seen until row 6, middle of the pack. So it may not last, but we're starting off ahead of them. Let's ride with Oliveira, our pole sitter, as we start the first race of the From the Ashes deal here, although Lipinen jumping ahead within seconds. Oliveira already back to 5th, while Lipinen at least doing a decent job of holding off the pack. He's showing why he leads the championship so far. Look at that 2-second lead now. Lipinen just blowing people away. Where did that come from? Shoot. Well, you know what? Let's go down to medium and push. Yeah, 2.5 seconds. Let's go all medium. I mean, if we're going to be doing that well, and here's Oliveira in second. Looking reasonably comfortable. We'll go down to high and push for her. I don't know why we're doing this well. I'm also not arguing with it. Yep, okay, we'll switch back to medium. And, you know, I do not believe I've ever carried 60 laps of fuel before, so that's going to make things interesting here. Now I think the tires are low enough, and we're starting to get a little bit more water. Now's the time to come in. Switch to inters. Hopefully I didn't click the come in too late. And Oliveira should be able to come in at the same time, because it's very fast. It's just change the tires and get back out there. Wexler takes the lead. We go out on lap 23. And we're going to want to have inters until when? Maybe 51? That'd be 28. About 14 laps. So let's say we come back in lap 37 about. We are 3rd and 7th. But the top cars who have come in for the pits, which is the important number, we're going to be shifting the tires again just into the red. I normally don't like to do that, but we want to make sure we get through this wet period. And Lippinen, you're going to come in for a fresh set. And, you know, the gearbox, not looking the best, but it'll do. Oliveira will come in as well. Riding at 6.0 and now a 3-second lead on Wexler. Wexler may try to ride out this entire rain period on those tires. Could be interesting. Lippinen up slightly, but still not driving the best. Another nice stop, less than 2 seconds. So Wexler is the leader by 6 seconds plus. Okay. Now you can see he's gaining pretty significantly. See, where's Lippinen on the track? Yeah, we're close to wanting to... Yeah, and there you can see, like, Holt's just blah, blah, blah going by. The track is simply not wet enough anymore. So let's... Let me pause here for a second. Yeah, I mean, Wexler's just gaining too quickly. I would normally think about going down a little more, but I don't think I want to. I think I just want to stop and get... Now, this is going to be 15 laps to go. We should be able to make it on Ultras. But the thing about it is, Super Softs don't have a huge drop-off in performance, and that's what we got. We got the bonus on those. Although we didn't use it, so it doesn't matter. I mean, that's enough extra. We really should be able to make it on those. What about the temperature? Temperature probably a little warm for him. You know what? We're just going to play it safe with the Super Softs. For both drivers. Time to make our final stop of the day. Once again, less than 2 seconds. Lippinen in and out, and does not lose the lead. Wexler behind, but has to do some repairs. We've got lots of extra fuel here. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. I think we're going to want to just back off more on the fuel at the start of upcoming races. Now, Wexler and Chapman have quite a bit of fuel. So it is possible they could finish the race. Or quite a bit of tire is what I meant. Possible they could finish the race on those. 4 laps to go. How much tire does Chapman have left? 34%, so he's going to get into the red, but he's also probably going to finish. I'm hoping to have him burn himself out and not have enough tires to pass me at the end. So I'm making him work hard to catch us. Still looking alright. Might push a bit at the very end with Oliveira. who's driving 8.4 now, by the way. Lippinen at 6. Where's Chapman at? 6.1, so... Gonna have to back off on the tires soon. I'll do that with Oliveira now. Let's go neutral. Looking good, so let's just go for it. Fine there too. We'll go to overtake. Schmidt was in 5th, I believe, going wide around a turn. Saarinen is sitting at 15% on the tires, but we're on the last lap. And we'll go to push on the tires for this last bit. As Holt's attempting to get back on the lead lap, I don't think that's going to happen. And maybe it will. Yep. Holtz will get to do one more lap. And Oliveira in 3rd. So 1st and 3rd, Chapman in 2nd. That's pretty darn good. Chapman made it on only 2 stops. Gotta give him credit. Saarinen in 4th, but Wexler retiring. So we could have been like 1st and 4th, and then Wexler 2nd and Saarinen 5th. And that wouldn't have been nearly as good for us. No rule breakers. We'll stick how it was. And you see no bonus points for the pole, no bonus points for the fastest lap. The points are much higher because top 10 instead of top 6 get them. So you just get more points per race. Everybody does. Lippinen 1st, Oliveira 3rd. We get 40 points. They get 12 for Saarinen. Very nice. And the injured Harry Chapman nearly beats us. So Lippinen doing well. Oliveira in 5th. Just behind Wexler and Chapman, who switch spots, and Sharp slides down to 6th. So Chapman all the way up from 6th to 3rd with that 2nd place finish. But a lead of 12 has swelled to 40 points, which is almost a race's worth of points. 25 for 1st, 18 per 2nd. So it's 43 points a race. We have almost a race worth of points near the halfway point. My psychic told me this would happen. And then they did collect the bet. Oh, how funny. Okay, so a 5.0 for Lippinen, 5.7 for Oliveira. All good stuff. Francis Marshall expected 2nd, but we come in 1st. Up to 10 million in the bank. So there's 9 races left, but a great start for Windsor Racing. Oliveira up from 6th to 5th. And we'll be heading off to Guildford next and continuing to improve the car. But we've got some breathing room now, and we've sort of got our feet wet, feeling good about things. So continue with more of this next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Motorsport Manager will return.